Hello and welcome to Crypto Simulation Theory. I'm the Gaussian Snake. I'm excited today to talk to you with my special guests about FOFAR and the Meme Arcade, which was created by the FOFAR project. We're going to do an overview of the FOFAR token. We're going to talk about the Meme Arcade, and there's going to be a lot of visuals on screen. So it's going to be really exciting and engaging, and I encourage you to leave comments on YouTube. I'll be periodically checking in with the Telegram as well. So just as a reminder, I do hold the FOFAR token, as do the people on this live stream with me. Nothing that we're telling you is intended to be financial advice. Let's go ahead and get started. So I have some very special guests joining me today. I'm going to have them introduce themselves in just a minute. I have Astro and Blem, or Whale Blem. Astro is the FOFAR project lead and lead developer. He's pretty much the reason why we're even here today. He's done so much for this project. And we have Whale Blem, who is probably one of our best gamers for the Meme Arcade. So I'll go ahead and let Astro, why don't you go ahead and get started, introduce yourself, who you are, how you found FOFAR, and yeah, look, your name, you've already got a comment. Astro, the man, the myth, the legend.
I love it. Well, thank you for having me. And I've always been insanely grateful, Snake, for your insights and being part of the team here. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm really excited to chat more about the arcade, and as always, give a bunch of alpha that people can sneakily take away with the more research they do. So pleasure to be here, and I'll hand it over to Blem as well, who's also on the team.
Yeah, Blem, why don't you talk about how you found FOFAR and what you like about this project?
Pleasure being here.
Yep, I can hear you now.
Yeah, as Nick said, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. We can hear you. Go ahead and speak.
Yeah. As Nick said, I will focus here on gameplay. I love playing this platform. I think in just few months we create a very good platform here, and I invite you all here that join our stream to play it, of course.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started and just do a brief overview of the FOFAR token, the website, so you can, kind of know where to find all this if you're new to FOFAR. This is a very different kind of project than what you're probably used to seeing. We are so much more than just another meme coin. So hopefully you can see on screen, this is the FOFAR website. I have a link in my video description down below to all the FOFAR links. So if you're curious where to get the FOFAR token, it is available on Uniswap and Poloniex, and I know that there's more exchanges that will be coming soon. There's a link right here to buy it on Uniswap. And then just very briefly, this is the DEX tools overview of FOFAR. And, when I look for projects, these are the kind of metrics that I personally look for. You've got a circulating supply and total supply that are the same, so there's no inflation. We've got about a $3 million market cap, which has kind of served as a nice floor for us, with 3,200 holders. So that's a very, if you look at the token distribution, it's as fair as it gets. 76% of the tokens are held by, not held by whales. We'll just put it that way, right? So it's a very fair distribution. Yeah, and the smart contract is renounced. There's no buy or sell tax. So, and we're cross-listed across memes, NFTs, and gaming, making us extremely unique in this space. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go over to the Meme Arcade, maybe get a brief overview of that. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Oh, Astro, if you have a screen that you would like to share, go ahead and pull it up.
Absolutely. I'll present here and show you guys. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it already. Let me know if you can see.
Yep.
Yeah, amazing. So, a lot of people already know the Meme Arcade, but for the people not familiar, one of the biggest problems, right, with memes you're seeing is like, which do I buy? And like, what do I resonate with? There are so many different characters, right? And a lot of people are lost because it can be a lot of hype, right? You have 1 week, everything is all about that coin, and then it disappears the next. And so the amazing thing about kind of what FOFAR has been building is asking, what can we be more than just that? So what's the long-term opportunity here to properly grow? And the best way to do it really is, what are growth vehicles that people who buy into memes really want to, be a part of? And entertainment is the #1 reason a lot of people are in crypto, right? If you think about it, trading crypto is, I wouldn't say it's the funnest entertainment at times, but it's definitely exhilarating, right? And so building the Meme Arcade, we found, is this incredible arcade platform for meme characters that has this amazing product market fit. So it's essentially an opportunity for lots of different meme coins and partners beyond just FOFAR to get involved. And you can earn, this bacon token, which is kind of a universal currency, which will kind of emerge as, a tournament winnings and even paid tournaments. And you can earn it through staking and lots of ways the ecosystem works. And so there's a whole opportunity basically, right, for memes to become far more than just a kind of financial token. It's, can these tokens be used? Because currencies should always be used. And that's really what these games are about. So there's so much I could show you. These are all, on both desktop and mobile and all that jazz. They're really fun games, right? A lot of them are multiplayer. I haven't really mentioned that. So there's a lot of meme characters, as you can see. Some of these partners here, just really exciting stuff. So I won't go on too much, but I think what's really important, instead of just focusing on, here's the platform, go play it for yourself if you'd like. What matters more is asking yourselves, like, what is a kind of a long-term growth vehicle for like these coins? And that's really what the Meme Arcade is about, is asking, what can community be in the long run? And so Snek, you beautifully showed the website about a super community. This is really the opportunity, right? I'll just die here so you can see. But there's a lot of, there's a lot of different ways.
Nice try, Astro.
I know I did terribly, but you get the idea. So I won't go on too much more, but that's a really good overview, I think, of all sorts of things. There's leaderboards with meme clans as well. So as you think about the kind of long-term trajectory of this, is how can you stimulate, competition and exciting, interactions between communities? Because right now they're quite siloed away. And this is really where the Meme Arcade is. It's the town square for meme coins. And a lot of people are thinking, okay, all right, that's great. I see a few fun games, right? But what's more important is to ask yourselves, if you know crypto, right, where's the deep value? And the deep value is, how does this all connect with, connecting a bunch of communities and financializing it as well, with incorporating tokens, tournaments, all these sorts of things. You can suddenly see at the surface, it's about entertainment, right? But on a deeper level, it's about, the financialization of entertainment and crypto. So hopefully that's a good kind of intro. As you can see, my signal's a little weak on VPN, but how does that sound, Snek?
Yeah, sounds really great. Nobody knows more about this Meme Arcade than you do. So whenever you speak, my ears are open. I really like, one of the things that appeals to me so much about the Meme Arcade, and I was hoping maybe you could speak a little bit too before we throw Blem up screen to pretty much show us all up with his gaming abilities, is the decentralization aspect of the social gaming arcade. I noticed you put up the screen with all our partners. I actually saw Pepe Coin on there, which is, to me, something I haven't seen before. But if you could maybe speak to what does a decentralized Meme Arcade look like, and why is that important in this space, and how does that differentiate it from other projects that are doing gaming out there in the crypto space?
Definitely. So I mean, if you zoom out to 2020, the 2020 cycle in crypto, as a lot of you saw, was a lot of game projects became quite a big thing. The problem with that, though, is they generally made a very centralized kind of singular place to come play a game, right? It was this 100 gigabyte file that you had to play online, and you'd have to play in 100 hours, right, of different gameplay. Sorry, my signal's quite bad here. I'll play Meme Fighter instead. So essentially, all of these old games in previous cycles, even ones which have gone to $1 billion market cap, right? They have been very interested in just building this metaverse, which is just this one big game. And the problem is it never really attracted much attention of community. And so you have to ask yourself, when you look at things like Fortnite and all of these other games, you've got a highly, highly social sphere. And so when we talk about decentralization and what gaming could be, is it doesn't matter. You could build the best game in the world, but if no one plays it, it doesn't matter. And so essentially, to answer you, Snake, decentralization is really asking who are the initial user base that can grow an arcade platform into something much, much bigger. So that's really what this is about, is it's developing games through and incorporating partners like Spike and DRAGGY and other communities. And through that, you develop a super community. And so that's, if you have 0 users, you're never going to have any, value developed. And so that's really where our ethos has been, is what can we build for an existing community and how can that then grow and become kind of like a virus? And that's what decentralization is. So I'll play a few games. As you can tell, it's hard to speak and play.
Yeah,
but,
you know what? I was actually thinking maybe this is a good time to get Blem's, get Blem to show off.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'll
let
stop
me bring.
staring and we can
if
still.
you want,
Yeah, let's go ahead and.
So let me just stop and hand it over, and he can start presenting as well.
So Whale Blem is all on top. Thank you, by the way, Astro. That was a fantastic answer about the decentralization. Blem, you're just on top of all the leaderboards, so it's time to show off. Let's start with Snake Rush. Why don't you go ahead and pull that up?
Let's start. I start presenting. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You're a little staticky. Okay, maybe we can come back to you in a minute.
Okay, now.
Okay, you want to go ahead and share your screen so we can see your.
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen. Yeah.
On your laptop.
It's not showing up for me.
It's okay. I can start presenting mine again.
Yeah,
if you'd like.
yeah. Maybe while we. Oh, there it is. Okay, we got it.
Perfect.
Hey, just showed up. So, yeah, Blem is on top of all the leaderboards, and one of your favorite games is Snake Rush, right?
Yeah. I love Snake Rush.
Let's see what you got.
I did the. I was I think 10th place and first place before joining the stream.
Amazing.
Representing.
Yeah. And also I want to add something. There you can see the NFTs. I think it's an important part too of the platform. And
what do you think about that? What is special about these NFTs? How do you get them? Why would people want them?
Yeah, I can talk about the rarity. You have to go to the NFT store to buy packs. You have to be lucky to pack one rare of this. There are skins like blue jelly, green jelly. I only own the standard one. I will try to own the other ones, but first I own this, and I can open a pack and we can see.
Amazing. Yeah. So to add to that is those bacon points that you're earning through these games and
yeah, the bacon points of the games. Yeah.
Exactly. So you can earn all of these bacon points and you can spend it on NFTs. And we're trying to find this hybrid, right? Is you're using your bacon for tournaments, but you're also using it for things like NFTs. And they have obviously a viral element, right? If people use them as profile pictures on Twitter and all that. But there's much, much more utility that NFTs can provide. So in future, you're going to see not just profile pictures as NFTs, but you'd see even game skins as NFTs and things like that. And so the power of that is you suddenly have an ecosystem where it can interface together. So all of these traits, right, you can build together into your own NFT, and they have various different rarity involved. So this is yet to go live and published on the blockchain. It's about to launch next week, I think. And the opportunity for these NFTs, right, is it can suddenly have utility in staking rewards and things like that. So you can have a multiplier effect. So things like the more, rare your NFT is, it gives you other benefits in the ecosystem. And so you're creating an entertainment platform that rewards the people who play the most, but also engage in various ways that adds value. So I think it's a really exciting way. I mean, we've got incredible artwork and NFT traits. I think it's some of the best I've seen in the space, let alone the fact that this is on an entire arcade platform and this is just one feature. But I'm obviously quite biased here, but you get the idea that this is all about saying, how do you empower community to have more fun and engage with each other? And this is just one extra feature for that. I don't know, Snek, you've got a lot of great thoughts on community as well.
Yeah, I think, NFTs are something that I do have some experience with. And I feel like the one thing that I love about what FOFAR is doing in the end, the NFT space is oversaturated. It's been oversaturated for years. But what FOFAR is doing that really differentiates itself, one of the things at least, is the idea of a dynamic rarity algorithm, which is like you were saying, Astro, people can literally construct their own NFTs. I don't know of another project where you can do that. I don't know that one even exists.
It's very true. It's these small things that add up, right? Is you have to ask yourself, like, are you paying attention to the previous iterations of technology? Like NFTs in the previous cycle, right? You would just buy them. And it's not very interactive. And it's also like, it's quite consumerist, isn't it? It's a very American agenda. And the opportunity here is to take it a step further of, can you be a creator? And so that's what's really exciting, is you can create the exact hybrid that you'd like. And I know it's a small thing, right? But it has a bigger implication. So, I mean, Blem, you can also go around to show the other rarity table and things like that. But
yeah,
it's all about as well having a system that allows the community to decide, what is valuable. So if someone mints, a background with bearish clouds or, pixel green as their background, the more people who mint that, the more rare it becomes. And so that's what dynamic rarity means, is we're creating quite simple but exciting systems, right? Where over the course of many months, it can have, not just, financial value. That's something I don't really want to speak too much about, as it's not financial advice, but it's about, like, what does it have as value to a community as well? So Snek, I'm sure you can speak about that too, of like, how do you value these sorts of things?
Well, so crypto is inherently tribal. I mean, let's take a step back. Humans are inherently tribal. We like to rally around a cause, and then we also like to know that we're part of something fair and transparent. And one of the things that the FOFAR NFTs bring to the space is the same thing that the FOFAR token brings, which is fairness, transparency, and an equal opportunity for everyone to get in. If you think of the NFT projects like Bored Ape Yacht Club or CryptoPunk or Cypherpunks or whatever they were called, Crypto Kitties, if you didn't have inside knowledge or didn't time it right, you were screwed. Like it's like a pyramid scheme. FOFAR brings something different. And I think the idea of fairness is huge in a community. People want to believe that they have a chance at owning the most valuable NFT, and we won't even know what it is. And it's not like us on the team have any advantage. We don't, and
exactly.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I like.
That's very well said around fairness. And I think you also, everyone's like, oh, that's great. I want to live in a utopia, but what's in it for me? And you need to understand why fairness is important. There's also why it matters to have, development in a meme coin. A lot of people are saying even that it's irrelevant. And the truth is, the reason why it's important is you want to have faith that next week your project is going to be doing well, right? You want to know that even if the market's not doing great, a month from now, you've got a community and, a team behind the scenes working hard to make sure that when, the market is doing well, there's a lot of opportunity for growth and new users and things like that. And so I think fairness is important, but it's also about beyond that. It's about, trust and looking towards people who are building rather than just riding a hype train. because that can be very short-lived, as I'm sure you've seen, and it's quite
Yeah.
a dangerous
Absolutely.
arena to play in, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think FOFAR's goal is to be around more than just this particular bull cycle. We're trying to build something lasting here. I think right now would be a good time to get into some gameplay. I think that's what a
Agreed.
lot of
Let's see
people are
some
here
Snake
for.
Rush if Blem's.
So
I can open a pack first before starting playing if you want.
sure.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's see. What do you want? Which pack? You decide.
Headgear
you
and
want me to
mouth is
decide?
my preference.
This one?
Yeah,
Sure.
headgear's always the
Okay.
great one. The big moment.
So it says
Nice.
high likelihood of rare traits, low likelihood of common traits.
Exactly. So let's see what you've won. A blonde mustache.
One mustache.
FOFAR with a mustache is classic, and a disco helmet.
Disco
Oh,
helmet.
disco.
I love that one.
Okay.
So we can go to the NFT designer, right, and see how they're built in that top
Sure.
tab. So if you switch over to the headgear, I guess the disco headgear is my preference. So obviously it needs a bit of clothes as well. So we're missing a few packs, but there's I like those eyes.
Got to start somewhere.
And mustache.
So you can choose the examples if you click them.
Here we go.
Nice. And if you choose the clothing as well, you can see some of the examples available. So black
yeah.
armor is another.
Oh, this one. I like it. I like it. I like it.
You see that guy at a party, you know that he's the life of the party.
You know he's crazy. But yeah, let's.
The eyes, you can see. Well, it's good. It's good.
I don't know if that's my style. I think it's a little too eclectic for me, but I think some people could like it. That one looks definitely more smooth. Let's see some background as well. Yeah,
background
so
it's nice background.
A bull
it's nice.
Yeah, the bull pasture. So these are small things, right, to have fun and spend your bacon on. But as you can see, these are just one of many ways tokens will get involved. So over the coming weeks to months, there's a lot more opportunity for other meme coins to actually be incorporated as a financial layer. I think that's one of the really exciting developments long term that can happen. Is you create a system a bit like Ethereum, right? Which it transfers, transacts in billions of dollars per day, and then suddenly instead here's an opportunity to do that with gameplay. So I'm not saying we're on the level of Ethereum, but I am saying that if you can capture attention through these gameplays and financialize it, it's a very big market that people are missing. So obviously we can see the gameplay from Blem, but you go ahead, Snek. I know you wanted to cover a few other things around the project.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did want to come back to the games, of course. And we launched this meme arcade, and I love that Blem's finally loading Snake Rush, because I know a lot of people are waiting to see Master Whale Blem here. As Lauren, one of our commenters, said, Blem, the biggest whale. He's going to make himself the biggest whale right here in this game.
Exactly.
I think we had a pretty successful launch. One thing I want to mention, Astro, you don't get enough credit, I think, publicly for the amount of work that you and the rest of the team have put into this project, and your development team as well. For people listening to this live stream, this entire meme arcade was conceived, developed, and delivered in beta version in about a 4.5 month time frame. Now I want you to let that sink in for a minute. 4.5 months. That is, it's got to be like a record.
It's a record when you're comparing it to a few other projects who have said they would develop something and never did.
Well, and then there's projects who never do develop anything, and they just have a few pretty JPEGs on a screen or preview videos, and you never see a game.
Exactly.
What I love is we have a game. Does it have a few bugs in it? Yes, of course it does. It's in beta. But what I love is that anytime an issue is reported, you guys are on it right away.
Absolutely. And I think what's important as well to zoom out and ask yourselves, like, what's the beta versus the longer term goal here? The goal is to become like a decentralized Apple arcade. So you've seen the iOS App Store has millions of games and tons of gaming studios that are pretty small. And the opportunity here is saying, hey, can you provide a decentralized way for these small studios to get engaged and monetize their own games beyond just the Apple App Store? So the opportunity here is we've built just 3 games, and we'll build more ourselves personally. But the opportunity here is partnering with other gaming studios that would like to get an existing user base in the crypto sphere and then be able to monetize that. And so it's a huge opportunity. Decentralization is much more than, the classic metaphor of spreading things across multiple stakeholders. It's really asking yourselves, how will the financial side be disconnected from an intermediary? Apple right now controls, I think 30% of your revenue goes as a fee towards Apple, which is partly generous because of, bringing them a user base. So there's a lot of small gaming studios who would love to be, finding alternate revenue streams. And who better than to bring it to than like the crypto user base, who are pretty rabid and like they love, experimenting and exploring and things like that. So it's a big opportunity there long term. And so you're right to call this a beta, just because you don't see the full potential of it. I'd love to see Meme Fighter as well, Blem, if you'd like to play that as well.
Yeah, I can play Meme Fighter once I end this.
And
that's probably going to be in 2 hours. Knowing
I know, but you're going to have the biggest snake around. Blem's also a master at Meme Fighter too. So there's like, Astro, why don't you tell us a little bit about some? I mean, I don't know how much you can reveal here, but games that are like, I see like it looks like a racing game on the coming soon. I love racing games personally. What kind of games can you even tell us might, without getting into specifics, or how many games do you think might come out in the next couple months for the Meme Arcade?
Sure. So like I said, there's the opportunity for us to build our own, as well as partnering. We've already partnered with 2 gaming studios already, and some of them are in development. We are talking kind of racing games as well. As you're seeing here, this isn't a multiplayer snake game. Same as Meme Fighter is multiplayer. What we're really focused on is what games can people engage with. That's why the leaderboards are at the center of this, is because we want people to be playing against others and competing and all these things. So there's a lot of single player games like racing games, but then there's also more multiplayer ones. So I can't really go into too much detail. Some of them are kind of more like Temple Run, if you're familiar with that in the good old days.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one.
Some of them are more racing games, but we've got to position ourselves uniquely. If you want to create significant value, there's always a bigger fish out there who will want to eat you. And so the only way to stand out from a
bigger
business
snake,
a bigger snake or a bigger snack.
There's always Blems out there.
There's always a bigger Blem out there. And so you just got to be careful to be creating products and value in a unique way. Same as meme coins, right? You don't see many like pink, ugly pigs as FOFAR. And the same applies for these games is we're trying to create arcade ones, which are very easy to just play a little each day. You can win some bacon in the process, but that's what's more engaging than people spending, 4 hours. It's a bit of a headache to do that. So just keep that in mind. In terms of games, we've got around 2 to 3 in the pipeline that are, being unveiled over the coming weeks. But the bigger picture of this is, where can the gaming studios come in and what will they want to develop? So I'm hopeful to actually have some kind of lighthearted shooting games. You've got some really silly ones available. Nothing kind of aggressively violent or this or that, but that's the sort of arcade theme that I think a lot of people want to play multiplayer against.
Well, yeah, I mean, Halo was huge back in its day. I mean, like,
exactly.
And I think like one thing that really comes to mind when I think of FOFAR is it's a meme super community. That's, it's not what the thing about FOFAR and a meme arcade is. It's not only about FOFAR. It's about creating community I don't know if you could turn that down just a little bit, Blem.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
may need to mute.
I love having theme music.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
But like, to me, a meme super community is almost like, you know, thinking of something like the NFL or you know, the MLB or the NBA, right? Like you have teams competing against each other, and there's something at stake, and people can root for their favorite team, and you know, and then we also kind of support each other in a way at the end of the day, just like the NBA is kind of like one giant family. How do you
Exactly.
think that sounds, Astro?
Yeah, it's spot on about, again, people listening to this are your users, your investors, and things like that, and you want to know, you know, why is this valuable? And you don't have to own everything for it to still have value, right? Ethereum just makes some code. They don't even own the network theoretically. They're just putting code out. So the same thing applies here. Is what we're trying to do is harness the power of these communities. No one owns anything if you think about it. We're all a community, part of the same shared, you know, ecosystem. And so meme coins, there's DRAGGY, there's Spike, there's BIRDDOG, BRATT, there's all of these different projects that aren't our own. But that doesn't matter, because if you interlink, you can create more value than if you were just on your own. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing from, you know, the meme coin space, is they don't understand that, you know, we can actually be bigger and better together.
Plus, it's just fun. It's fun, Astro. Crypto is
Exactly.
boring. It's so freaking boring. You know, I stare at charts all day, and there's only so much of that I can do. And then the thing about the existing, like, I'm very, you know, I'm pretty familiar with the GameFi space as a whole, and I don't talk about it a lot on my channel just because I haven't found very many games that I like. And
Yeah.
and every time something comes along, it promises to be the next best thing, and they all do the same thing, which is exploit their user base. And then
Well,
just
have you even played some of these games? Because
I've
struggled
tried.
to even
I've
download them,
tried. I
right?
mean, yeah, it's such a headache just getting set up, and it's so complicated.
Yeah.
And you know, we're not the only gaming studio to bring NFTs into the picture, but the way that it's been done before has been so tedious and just not fun.
Yeah. It's I think it's missing the bigger picture here, which is, if you're an investor and even a user, you have to ask yourselves, like, what matters most? And the question is, does it work? Like, does the product work? And yes, we're seeing here in beta that there are a few little glitches here and there, but we're already miles ahead of a lot of other projects, in the sense that you've got an engaging platform that, like I said, it works. And so I think a lot of people in crypto have become disheartened, right? Is they actually never want to see a platform or product come out, because when it does, normally it's broken, or it never, like, it never gets released. And so people like to ride the hype train, and it's like that chart, right? There's a bit of a trough of despair, but from there, as it grows, it really changes the narrative, and it becomes more about long-term growth and what can the product become. And that's really the trough that a lot of people are too scared to go to. And so that's why we built it in 4.5 months, is because we were tired of all of the silliness around it, right? It can't be that hard. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's a lot of people in crypto, I think, are frustrated. And this is hopefully a poster child of what can be done if you just say it can be done.
Yeah, crypto normies are tired of just getting dumped on by communities, by projects, by unfair tokenomics, you know, by games that just benefit the developers. And FOFAR has built something different. And we can say has built, not is building, but has built.
Exactly, it's huge.
You know, and this is something that easily will be around for years to come.
Yeah,
I have no doubts. I mean, look at as Blem is playing the games. These are games that I know are familiar from my own childhood. You know, like who didn't play a game of Snake on their, you know, on their old computers or on their phones, and Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and Legend of Zelda / Mario. You know, like that's more of Meme Odyssey, which we haven't really shown here yet.
Exactly.
You briefly did, but and then racing games and, like you said, temple run style games. Like and this is just on the FOFAR end. What you're saying, Astro, if I'm hearing you correctly, is that other projects that we're affiliated with and other gaming studios can come in and work with projects to create their own games.
Exactly. And I know there's a few kind of internet issues with Blems going a little glitchy at times with the gameplay, but the opportunity is so much bigger. If you look at crypto, like I said, it's about having everyone come together. So the gaming studios, the users, the investors, and a lot of people focus just on investors. And there's so many more people that we can bring together, and that's how the value is created. So I just want to add one thing to the people listening is what's so important here, if you actually look at what creates value and what, downstream will benefit you, is the power of community. And one of the big things missing is this project is built by community members. It's not built by, as you said, some project, a gaming project dumping their tokens on you. No one's got the tokens to dump on you. This is very much grassroots. The community came together to make this. And I think that's really important to keep in mind, because there's this divide with meme coins, right? As you invest in one and you don't realize that you actually are the same as the team. Everyone's on the team, essentially. And the opportunity here that I'd like to say, if anyone's listening, is there's some really, really crazily simple ways for you to have a massive impact on the project. And one of the most obvious ways is, for example, setting up a faceless TikTok account if you wanted, with all of these games playing in the background. There's so many little ways, right? Or talking about the project in various other, doing platform demos or this or that. But TikTok is so visual, and all of these platforms, all of these other crypto projects have nothing to show. Suddenly you've got a project here with incredible, fun games to interact on. This is your opportunity. If you want to have, a big outcome with the project, you are all on the team. You just don't realize it yet. So I'd love to raise awareness, basically.
Yeah.
That we're all not just accountable, but we all have genuine power over the outcomes of a community. So I really love that, and why crypto is so special is it is fair and accessible to us all, as you said at the start, Snack, right?
Yeah, people think that so FOFAR, is a CTO, and when people hear CTO, they sometimes think Chief Technology Officer. But no, it's a community takeover, and that's exactly all of practically every single person on this team, on the FOFAR, admin team, for instance, we're all grassroots. I was brought on as I was posting charts in the chat, and Blem was brought on, and so on and so forth. We didn't come in with an agenda and, with a corporate ladder like a lot of these other projects do. And that's something I really love about FOFAR. But Astro, you said it perfectly. When somebody comes in and says, when is this going to happen with this project? When is that going to happen? You know what? As a community member, you are part of the team. And if you want to help spread awareness about this project, you can do that through a lot of ways. You can participate in Twitter raids. You can get on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Instagram threads. There's so many opportunities for you to carve out your space in the FOFAR and Meme Arcade ecosystem, and a lot of what you see is from community members.
Yeah, come join us is the message, right? As you said, Snack, it gets a bit boring looking at charts all the time, and you love charts. I think we all like that in crypto to a degree, but there's a bigger opportunity here, right? There's a way to engage with the community and grow something together. The time to be a builder is never better now, and so I'm not just saying it as a passing comment. You guys, whoever's listening, should go make some TikToks. It's so fun. It's also fun to play these games and be able to see how many views you can get on your TikTok or this or that. And same as the Twitter raids, right? There's so many ways to interact. So I think that's really the big thing. And to give you more alpha around this is what's so important about this is building more and more of the network effect. The reason being is, you saw with Facebook and these other platforms, the more you can channel attention, the more value and power there is. So there's a lot of things I haven't really express behind the scenes because they're you know, they're not public yet. But there's a lot of ways that I'll let you figure out what are ways you can partner with other projects in crypto beyond just meme coins, right? There's actually services and, you know, exchanges and things like that who are all looking for partnerships. And so just keep that in mind, is that the power of this platform is not just about the individual having fun, but it's about the collective coming together and to make it into something really special. And that's where you channel that attention and everyone benefits, right?
I think I know exactly what you're saying, Astro. You know, it's funny. It makes me think of how crypto right now is categorized into different niches. You've got AI, which is kind of running right now. You've got DPEN, you've got RWA, you've got GameFi, you've got DeFi, and so on and so forth. FOFAR in the meme arcade and what we're building aims to kind of do away with those labels, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's too many of them. So you're crypto, right? You're Web3. Because it's everything. And that's what's hilarious about it, right? Is you can just be when you have too many labels, I think it's compensating. That's my like attitude to it. Is you obviously, some of these projects are very specialized, so you need a real world asset platform. But if you're in the meme coin space, there's a way to be a lot of things, right? Is you can be DeFi, you can be NFTs, you can be you know, play to earn. There's so many different labels, and the truth is, I don't really care about a label, because what's in it for me? What's in it for me is actually playing the games, right, and having fun. I don't really care to have a label. And I think that's what a lot of people in crypto forget, is like they've lost, you know, they've lost faith that it's supposed to be about fun rather than, you know, well, I'm part of this community or that.
And I understand, Astro. You have I mean, one thing you didn't really mention this earlier, and I forgot to mention it, but it's a huge detail. You've been in crypto for a very long time, and you even helped manage a near $1 billion market cap project. And what is it like going from that to developing something so grassroots?
Yeah, it's exciting to be grassroots, right? The reason being is you're so close to like what do people want, and you're able to create products really quickly in a way that there's not the same you know, scope and steps and stages involved. So I think that's why you've seen this happen in 4.5 months, is because we've built something like super quick, which is the exciting part. I know Blem's seeing an internet issue. It's that's probably one of the glitches with your internet, but we'll
little issues for me, not for the platform.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
glitches for everyone, I think. So it's the beta side as well. Sometimes it's working on some people's computers. But yeah, to go back to it, is like we got to ask ourselves, like, where do we want meme coins to go for the rest of this cycle? And I think everything matures, right? Is we all are probably thinking back to, you know, early 2024 and thinking, wow, this was the emergence of a new asset class.
Yeah.
And it really is an asset class. You're seeing Doge is outperforming Bitcoin. I don't know if you've seen over 2 cycles.
Yeah, I have. I mean, Doge raced all the way to 40 cents in no time recently, and so did Omnom along with it, which is one of the oldest meme coins on Doge chain. So
yeah,
I mean, I pay attention to these things, but you know, I mean, the one thing we can say is that Ethereum hasn't had its time yet. It just hasn't. But it's gonna happen 2025.
I think
I mean,
so. And
ET worry.
Yeah, and it's been a very common theme, right, of the markets. I won't go into too much of the trading, as that's more your arena, but like everything has its time and place. And that's why I came back to that 100%. Theme, right, of when you want to do well in life, there's a lot of moments you need to be patient. And so that's really what we're creating here, is we're trying to create a system and a platform that we've shown a proof of concept, right? We've created this beta platform in 4.5 months, far faster than if we made it, you know, perfect, but took 1.5 years, like a lot of other projects. And so that's just something to keep in mind, is everything has its place, and we're building this in a way that the patient people and the community is pretty damn strong. It's all around that like system is can you be patient, because you're going to get rewarded over the long term.
Blem, what did you just buy?
No, I just was showing the skins and I put the wrong button.
I'm
Did you just
sorry.
buy
Yeah,
a
it was
PopCat skin?
transaction. Yeah.
I think I will buy soon the Pop Cat skin because I love playing with when I see the Pop Cat skin on the game, I love it. I think it's the best one with FOFAR.
Yeah, I mean, Popcat couldn't be better with his mouth open like
I
that.
know that is such, that was I don't want to go on a tangent about the PopCat meme, but that was a popular meme I think around the pandemic, right?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
they've done, I mean, they've blown up like crazy. Um and they showed up in one of our animated videos. So it's really nice to have seen how FOFAR, I've been with FOFAR since April, since the project launched and got took over by Tags. I'm not really taken over by Tags because it's not taken over by anybody when it's a CTO, but got, let's say, transformed into a CTO. And I've seen this project develop so much from the amazing memes and animations that we had in the early days to this now. And I can only imagine with, your work ethic and all the work ethic of everybody on the team, the incredible community that we have, what this project will look like in just a few months. Because it's only been, I mean, how long have we even been around, Astro? What's April to now? How many months is that? Like,
That's 7.
I got to count.
7 or 8. Yeah.
May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So we're on month 8 on December 3rd. That's it. It's incredible. I mean, 8 months, not even 8 months. And this is what we've got. We've come a long way from the animations.
Yeah, and even the meme coins and things like that. There's a lot of the meme concepts have just constantly been iterated on. So I think one of the big opportunities long term around these meme coins is, as I've said, it's all comes back to the community, right? And that's really what we're trying to do here is differentiate ourselves in the long run to build kind of a place to hang out in crypto. I think it's pretty lonely in a lot of arenas, right? You see,
it is.
There aren't many places to hang out. And I don't know how you feel about that. You've got your own amazing community and things like that. But there aren't many people who have been in it for the long run and still have, the friendliness to engage and look after people and things like that. And that's really what we're trying to do with FOFAR, isn't it? It's not about.
I mean, exactly. There's only so much time you can spend talking in a Telegram channel or a Discord. It gets boring after a while. So to have this element of competition and team building, we have FOFAR. We have the FOFAR clan. We have the DRAGGY clan, the Spike clan, the BIRDDOG clan, the BRATT clan, and so on. There'll be more clans to come, and that really gives you a sense of camaraderie in a way that you just can't quite get in Telegram or Discord alone.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the really cool part about this is people again, it comes back to like, well, why do I want to play a game and this and that? I haven't even covered next week. One of the biggest opportunities here now is the launch of a Telegram app. And what that means is like accessing a huge user base. If we look at some of these other projects, right, we've talked about this as there's a lot of famous projects that have generated millions of users onto their bot. We're, again, by being a Telegram app rather than just the website, it allows you to be that home base for people. So they could be in your group, but then they can mix around or in the FOFAR community Telegram, and then they can go straight to the meme arcade as well. It's just a way more seamless way of operating. And it's also super easy for new users to onboard, right? It's just one click. And people are very scared about pressing, any link or URL.
Yeah.
So have it in Telegram as just an @username. It's these small things which, I mean, it's boring for some, right? But I think as investors, it's actually really intriguing. Look, if you want to be a user and just play the games, absolutely, like, go ahead. That's what we're building this for. But if you also want to look behind the scenes around like, well, what are the growth vectors and mechanisms on board here? Then there's a bit more like, behind the scenes of thoughtfulness here. Same as the Telegram app, same as, what I've hinted with, exchanges and other services. There's a lot of mechanics to grow a community. And that's what, as an investor, you should also be caring about.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. There's more to this than just hype. I want to open it up now. We're coming up about the 50 minute mark, and I want to try to wrap this up probably in the next 10 or 15 minutes. But I want to open up the YouTube chat. I mean, it's been open, but I'd like to just invite people to ask questions for me, Astro, or Blem. Go ahead and post them in the YouTube comments. I also have the Telegram chat open if you want to post questions in there. We're happy to take a few questions, and then we'll kind of wrap things up after that. How does that sound?
Sounds fantastic. You've done a great job, and I know Blem's trying his hardest not to be good at these games. So
a little bit lagging. I play better on mobile, but I can present on mobile, unfortunately.
Exactly. I mean, that's the big thing as well, right? Is having games on both mobile and desktop. So it's not just about Telegram, it's multiplayer, it's mobile, it's DeFi, it's all these things need to come together for it to be accessible for a lot of people. And I think that's what we're most proud of, right? Is creating product features that people actually care about and make it, more enjoyable for them. So yeah, if people have questions, just type away and
yeah, go ahead and we'll put your question on the screen. We've got a lot of comments. I'll kind of go through them one more time while I wait for some questions to come in. We had Pseudonym saying Astro, the man, the myth, the legend. That is definitely true. Dave Zip doesn't know who Astro is, but he says Blem's a legend. Abel said, "What's up, FOFAM?" Ryan gave us what looks like, I don't know, is that like a
dinosaur or a
dinosaur or maybe a hint at the Spike clan? Lauren said, Blem the biggest whale, and Rashid said, looks real fun. So I just want to acknowledge those comments. But yeah, I mean, I think we've covered everything so thoroughly. Maybe people are having trouble thinking of questions.
Yeah. Well, I guess one of my
what do I ask?
Yeah, one of my questions for you, Snack, is you've been in the space long enough as well. And I'm curious, as you've seen it mature, there's always new narratives. And how do you feel like FOFAR and the meme arcade fits into your, picture of, a growing and kind of new narratives with crypto?
That's a really good question, and one I've actually been thinking a lot about recently. I can answer you kind of in a shorter time frame, context, because as you're right, I do run a crypto channel, and I do kind of look at what's hot now. Like we were in Bitcoin season for most of 2024. Arguably, it was a Bitcoin year. We're seeing that start to break up now. Bitcoin dominance has kind of sunk to its lowest level in a while, and some of the older altcoins, the utility projects, have really started to run. And like some of the really major meme coins have been running, and AI coins are running, and it's sort of like, well, what's next, right? So I think GameFi is going to be the next big sector, in my opinion, to take off. And we saw this happen in 2023. I think it'll happen again this year. Everybody's like ignoring it right now, and that's kind of where I usually look. What is everybody ignoring? That's where I want to be. So I'm not really sure exactly where FOFAR fits in. I think, like I said, it's like we discussed earlier. I believe that we're kind of constructing a narrative of our own. We're kind of like pioneers in this space. So, I mean, we fit a little bit into the meme coin space. We are the last official Matt Fury meme coin, major meme coin. And we fit into the GameFi space because we have a full decentralized social gaming arcade. We fit into the NFT space because we have NFTs. And as you mentioned, Astro, there's future developments in this project that you're not really privy to tell us about right now, but they're kind of hinted at in the roadmap on the FOFAR website that there's more categories we might fit into in the future. So I think our narrative is honestly getting rid of the labels and investing in something that has staying power. I think of like the stock market, for instance, and I draw an analogy to and I'm not trying to compare us to like Nvidia or Tesla or anything like that, but I think of companies that have had staying power that maybe when they first debuted, people didn't know they were going to be so huge, like Amazon or I just mentioned Tesla, Apple. These are kind of the FANG companies along with Nvidia, and kind of taking the lead this cycle in the stock market. And I think FOFAR it's the ecosystem narrative. It's the super community narrative. I don't think a narrative really exists for our project yet.
Exactly. And I mean, like I said, the biggest opportunities are often in, you know, ways that narratives haven't emerged yet. So AI is the perfect example of you're seeing sentient memes and AI agents of all sorts emerging. And a lot of people are pissed off, right? Because they're not involved. And it takes a long time for people to get engaged and sucked into that world. And by the time you do, it's too late. And so I think that's really interesting what you're saying about GameFi and things like that is a bit like I said, with the community can get involved in ways they don't recognize. Like if people just got onto TikTok and spent 30 minutes or 20 minutes a few times a week making faceless videos, it changes the course of a project. But the same applies here with these GameFi narratives as well. As everyone says, oh, GameFi's done. It's not true, because you suddenly have something like the Meme Arcade could come around with a completely different take, and it changes the trajectory of, you know, what GameFi means to people. So I'm not saying and, you know, promising it can be, you know, $10 billion market cap coin or this or that. I'm saying that it doesn't take much for a new angle to come about. And
Yeah.
that's where the focus, I think you as an analyst are so smart at, is thinking about where's the skate to where the puck is going to be rather than where it is currently.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to, like, you know, again, there's not financial advice, but like, for instance, XRP flipped Solana today. Like, I don't know if you knew that, but it happened today. It flipped Solana. XRP has been just ranging for years because of what's been going on with the SEC. And so, you know, I was warning about this on my channel, but I'm like, you know, what happens a lot of the time and the way people get wrecked in bull markets and in altcoin seasons, like the one that we're currently building. I mean, we're not officially in altcoin season by the metric, but I feel like, what does it matter? We're heading right into it. They take a project that is kind of like, not like that. I'm talking purely charts right now. They'll take a chart that is like kind of not doing a whole lot, and they'll just fade it and go for something like XRP, or you know, that's already run so much. Now, does XRP have more room to run? Sure, it does, but you know, it could also correct tomorrow, and then they just wreck themselves by just flipping around, switching around, you know. And I think what I like about FOFAR personally is I'm sure it will go through the same kinds of rotations that other projects go through, where the chart pumps and then, you know, we reach some kind of ceiling and we range around again for a while and then pump again. I mean, but what I think that differentiates this project from many others is it has something that it will have staying power when a bear market hits crypto. I don't think FOFAR is going to go to zero the way a lot of other projects do. Why do projects go to zero during bear markets? Because they have nothing to sustain themselves. Why are there certain projects that last the test of time, like Solana, or dare I say XRP, or you know, any of the other number of ones that are still around and building? It's because they're building, right? It's because they build during the bear, they build during the bull, and they have something that is there for people. We can't, like at FOFAR, we can't control when our chart's going to pump. We can't control when the money ball is going to hit us. We just know it's going to hit us because it's going to hit everything. But I think I like to kind of like not focus so much on the chart, even though that's mainly what I, you know, spend a lot of my time doing, and just look at what are they building? What are they doing? What is the team like? You know, and we check off all the boxes. That we checked off a lot of the boxes for me back in April, and that's why I even invested in this project to begin with, and I've shared it on my channel because it's just offers something that I've been always kind of looking for but never been able to find.
Well said, beautifully put. And it's very exciting about where things can go. A lot of people are quite impatient and they want everything to be there, but that's part of crypto, right? To do well in crypto and to have fun in crypto is all about the journey, and it's all about what's to come. And so yes, you need to be sensible, saying, you know, is something being delivered or this or that. But that's really the joy of FOFAR for me, and I think for a lot of others, is they're seeing it unfold in real time. And that's really exciting to see. It gives confidence, but it's also like, what else is life if you don't have that process and all that?
Yeah, it's the natural extension of Web3 into our daily lives, and showing that crypto is actually useful for something other than just pumping bags. Blem, I was curious, what got you into FOFAR, and how did you discover this project, and what keeps you around here?
Yeah, basically, I consider me an OG like all of you, and yeah, I discovered before being a project, and I love what FOFAR has been these past few months, and yeah, discovered for the great volume it had, and it's to admire that a project with this markup building all this, and I think a great future for FOFAR for sure.
And what do you, Blem, what are you hoping for FOFAR's future? What do you want to see from this project?
Yeah, I can talk about the platform a little bit. I like the simplicity of the games. I think this is a great factor, and I think when the whole community discovered this, I think all it's simple games. All public can play it, and also all teams. I think the race one. I like all the sports games, and could be a great one too. So yeah, definitely great platform, great project. I believe that, as you said, GameFi has a lot to demonstrate, and I think me more GameFi, as Harris tweeted a few days ago, could be a great narrative.
Our friend DePapo said, "Go FOFAM. I just played a game. It's nice and smooth." So there you go, Astro. Like for a beta platform, this thing is running. People are playing. You can see we had like 5,000 people, I believe. Is that correct? Join in on opening day.
Exactly.
Wow. I mean, that's unbelievable. And I'm always looking and just impressed by how many people are playing this at any given time all over the world.
Yeah, and I mean, what I'm curious about as well, like I said, is the Telegram app side. I'm excited to see different communities like expand, right? Is you just have, a certain continent start to build a proper user base there specifically. I think that's really the next phase for this, is building up the general community, but then also these localized areas. And that's the big kind of growth opportunity, right? Because if you're friends with another friend in your like town or city, you're more likely to share to those other people, and there's referral systems inbuilt. So there's this whole viral mechanism that enables people to be rewarded for sharing to new people. So that's kind of where I'm excited to see the user base, is start looking at the data around, localization.
Right on. Yeah. So I think we'll just kind of go to some concluding thoughts from maybe Blem and yourself, and then we'll just kind of wrap things up. We didn't really have that many questions, and I think the reason is just that we covered things in like such excruciating detail. People probably are having trouble thinking of them. I'm gonna go look at the chat real quick. Says here we have a comment from Moonpig, one of our regulars in the chat. He said, "Great stream, guys. Very excited for the future of FOFAR as a meme arcade and the meme arcade. My question would be, what does Astro think is the biggest challenge to overcome for the platform's continued success?" That's a really great question. That's from Moonpig in the Telegram.
Yeah, it is a great question. Give me a second to think through it. What's the biggest hurdle?
Yeah, he said, what is the biggest challenge to overcome? And he wants you to answer this specifically, Astro, for the
Sure.
platform's continued success.
The biggest hurdle with any project and any technology is adoption. If you actually look around it, is the whole economy of the world is built on growth. If you didn't have growth, it'll all fall apart. So adoption really is always top of mind for anything. I wouldn't say I'm too stressed about that right now, but it's just something to keep in mind, and why you hear me talk about, everyone as a community member doing their part, is the fate of everything in the world comes down to just a few really engaged people who want to kind of step up to help that adoption, carry out. So I guess that's the biggest hurdle as well, because a lot of it is up to kind of chance in a way, right? Is you have serendipity, and that's really something that's we like to control as much as we can in the world, right? But it's quite difficult, because you also have to leave things up to fate and luck around that stuff. So I'm not trying to say, you know, everything's out of our hands. Like, we're obviously, as you've seen, we've worked our ass off to get this going. It's just also the adoption side is probably the big hurdle of, we can't, you know, predict it perfectly. What we can do, though, as you know, is we can build, you know, appropriately, right? Build a Telegram app, because that's going to be, you know, growing the adoption curve better. So things like that.
Yeah. FOFAR is not ephemeral. You know, I think a lot of these memes that you see, and I'm not calling any of them out to like pick on them, but like SPX 6900 or Bitcoin, the meme coin, which Harry Potter, Obama, whatever. Like, I think these will just come and go, right? They have the viral communities for a moment, and then they move on to the next thing. I don't think that FOFAR is going to be like that.
Yeah, I'm with you. And the reason being is because we're not making this just about FOFAR, right? It doesn't have to be about FOFAR. You can still gain value from FOFAR beyond just the meme itself. Like, you can capture attention from all of these other meme coins, and the underlying value is channeled over to the FOFAR community and the token and all of that. So it's just something to keep in mind, that people are like, I mean, it makes sense, right? You see TikToks about XRP going to $10,000 and it's at $1. Like, people are not thinking in very sophisticated ways
Not
here.
really. No, they see price, they don't see market cap.
Yeah, and same applies here, right? It's not just about the meme, it's also about how's the token have value.
One thing that I think I'd kind of like to if you can briefly address this and maybe even share your screen, Astro. This comes up as a question in my DMs. It's come up in various places, and I've even asked it myself before. And I know you get asked this so often, you must be frustrated hearing it for one more time. You probably know what it's going to be. The question is about token dilution. Does the Bacon token dilute the FOFAR token? Obviously, the answer is no. But how do the Bacon and because when we say that the meme arcade is not about FOFAR, you know, it sounds very altruistic. It's true. It's decentralized. But at the end of the day, if you invest in FOFAR, you will benefit from activity on the meme arcade. So I was wondering if you could speak to the investor for a moment and maybe share your screen and explain, like, you know, sort of the FOFAR / Bacon for Dummies rundown. Would that be okay for you to do?
Yeah. So give me a second. I'm just opening up the presentation.
Sure. And then while we're doing that, Blem, do you have any kind of like concluding thoughts of your own about FOFAR as we're kind of starting to wrap things up?
Yeah, tell me.
Oh, I was just saying, while Astro is getting ready to share his screen, do you have any concluding thoughts of your own about FOFAR that you want to share?
No, I think Astro and you put it all good, and yeah.
Okay,
all good
so Astro,
here.
I'll let you take it away. This is
sure.
something I know we're trying to make more clear to people.
Yeah, the concluding thoughts around this is for the people listening and investing is, again, not financial advice. This is telling you, you know, how does the ecosystem work? FOFAR as a token is the underlying kind of base layer for all of the kind of high level sides of things. So that means, from a governance perspective, you get to vote on things. There's also things like staking. If you stake your FOFAR, you'll earn Bacon. And Bacon's the utility coin, as we've described on the platform itself. So when you look at FOFAR is, you can see it's this high-level development token that will also be involved in various ways. Let's say you want to partner with, have a gaming studio create a game for your meme coin project, and you suddenly have, let's say, Temple Run was to play on the meme arcade. So what that allows is FOFAR is used as one of the tokens to buy these game nodes. Essentially, if you want to participate on the meme arcade, you'll also need to almost buy a license, in essence. And that license has a lot of, you know, downstream benefits, right? Is you own a portion of that game or the entire game, and any, you know, subsequent possible revenue and all that. So that's the timeline for that, is more in 2025 with the actual you know, main platform. We're currently in beta, but that hopefully answers why FOFAR has deep value, is because in essence it's kind of like the purest foundation of it all. And then on top of that, you have the actual transaction layer, right? So Bacon itself is, as we've described, you can use it for in-game rewards, purchasing special packs. There's other platform utility, you know, like the NFTs you've seen. So that's not covered entirely. But there's a ton of the more transaction-based things. So FOFAR is almost like the kind of licensing and governance token, as well as, you know, kind of investment in a way. And then Bacon's the actual transaction side. So it's quite simple, I think. Once, maybe I've not explained it clearly enough in the past, but hopefully you get the idea, and you can go to docs.memesarcade.com and you can read through it yourself as well. How does that sound?
That sounds really good. Yeah, and I have links to all the relevant FOFAR stuff in the video description. So just if you're watching this and you want to look at any of those documents, links to the FOFAR website, and yeah, I'm not sure if I can edit the description. I actually don't even remember what's in the description at the moment because I made it a few days ago. But website, how would people locate this, or could they locate it from the main website?
Yeah, you'll see it in fofar.io. You'll be able to see the docs is at the top of the page as well, in the menu bar. So yeah, I'm super grateful we've done this, and we'll do it again, I'm sure, as the new games develop. And yes, like I said, I hope everyone's going to get involved in the community. And you've seen, you know, small ways, like I said, actually have a big impact, whether you're raiding on Twitter or making those TikTok videos. I hope to gift someone some bonus tokens if they do go down that TikTok route.
Let's not forget about Twitch.
Exactly.
As well. Twitch is Blem, you have experience with Twitch, right?
Yeah, I think it could be a great idea to promote the platform there. And yeah, we can try it.
Exactly.
Yeah, Twitch is kind of the you know, the go-to also for gaming stream.
But just for gamers, so yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, if anybody here in the comments or watching has experience with Twitch, reach out, you know, talk about it in the FOFAR chat. So yeah, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up things here. This was a really brilliant live stream. I enjoyed every minute of it. Thank you to Blem for the continuous gameplay throughout Astro and I talking. Thank you, Astro, for sharing your wealth of knowledge about this platform that that you've helped a lot create. You've helped create. I'd almost say you created, but you know, there's a huge team behind you as well.
Development team. Yeah.
Yeah. Big kudos to you for accomplishing with your team, and just to the whole FOFAR family for just how we've come together to get this out in such a short amount of time. And we're not done yet. We're always building. There's always something coming. So let us know in the comments what you thought of this live stream. Did you enjoy it? Would you like to see us do more of these? Let me know down in the comments below. And you know, also join our Telegram, the FOFAR Telegram. I have links to it in the description. I have links to the FOFAR Twitter where we cut the most hilarious memes. You know, and the community is welcome to make memes as well, you know. So, you know, just have fun. That's the main thing. Just come here, have fun. That's what we want you to do.
I love it. Thank you for having both of us on the stream. I'm excited for the next one.
Me too.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
We'll go ahead and just wrap this up. Again, this has been Crypto Simulation Theory FOFAR live stream. This will be available as a recording for you to share and spread around and watch again. Nothing in this stream should be considered financial advice. And I would love to have you join both the FOFAR Telegram and my own Telegram. All links are in the video description. Until next time, we'll see you again. Have fun playing the Meme Arcade. Bye-bye.